Messi could be leaving Barcelona. Excuse me? What? What is... I am speechless. I have absolutely nothing that I can say to justify what is going on right now. I am in shock. I'm in awe of what could happen. There are strong reports that Lionel Messi, in my opinion, he is by far the best player of all time. There are strong reports that he's handed in a transfer request to his club, Barcelona, the team that he has spent his entire professional playing career with. He wants to leave. The Barcelona captain is, of course, the current Ballon d'Or holder. There's obviously going to be no Ballon d'Or this year, which is completely stupid, but there's no Ballon d'Or this year, so he can't retain it technically unless he wins it in 2021, which I don't know about that. But we've started to notice the slightest, bit, but we've noticed it nonetheless. A little bit of a decline with Lionel Messi. However, I was blessed to grow up in a generation that had him playing football while I existed. It's absolutely magical, it's miraculous, and we will probably never see a player reach the heights that he did for many years to come. However, as football progresses, I'm sure it's going to get a bit hard to compare footballers from then till to right now. But anyway, enough about that. Messi could be leaving Barcelona. It still hasn't sunk in, and it's been in the news for around a week. I don't know if this is just to try and scare the Barcelona chairman off. Of course, Bartomeu, I'm not quite sure how to say it, is rumoured to be resigning from the Barcelona chairman position or Barcelona CEO position, however you want to say it. And all the Barca fans want him out. Maybe Messi wants him gone so then he can stay at Barca. I have no idea. The fact that Messi stayed with Barcelona as long as he did, it kind of would really taint his legacy as a Barcelona player. No doubt still a legend, absolutely. You can't tell me he wouldn't be. However, I think it's really difficult to say that Messi would be titled like a one-club man with a player of his ability, if he left. Even now, if he left by the time he was 25, 26, good few years at Barca, but then moved on to another bigger club, which is pretty hard to do when you're talking about Barca. But obviously with the year they've had, it's a bit easier to say that now. But like Ronaldo did. He went from Sporting straight to Man United, spent a few years there, went to Real, spent a good few years there, then went to Juventus, and he's ripping it up there. And I personally love to see Messi move, particularly to the Premier League. He is linked with Manchester City. They are odds-on favourites to pick up the signing of Lionel Messi. This was, of course, a rumour back in 2016, 2017. And you know what? With the UAE money, they're probably the only team that could afford him. He'd have to cut down on wages, on the transfer fee, all that sort of stuff. It would be a lot of money nonetheless, though. But imagine that, as I said, a bit ago, Manchester City were looking at multiple wingers and stuff like that, and they sold Sane, their only proper left winger. They're going to have Sterling, Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, Ferran Torres, potentially Messi. 5 quality right wingers on that right hand side. It's ridiculous, man. If they get Messi, they're surely favourites to win the league because they're looking like they could be signing Kalidou Koulibaly as well. However, I'm not going to touch up on that too much in this episode. However, yeah, it's ridiculous. Messi could be leaving Barcelona. It's unreal. So yeah, obviously City are one of the teams that are linked with him. You've obviously got Paris Saint-Germain, although I highly doubt that, and you've got Juventus. Now, as much as I want to see him in the Premier League, if he went to Juventus, oh my god, he can retire with Ronaldo by his side as a teammate. How good would that be? I would kill to see that. Like, that is insanity. Imagine that. Ronaldo and Messi, fierce rivals throughout their whole career, battling against each other for who is the best player on the planet. They retire together. What a fairy tale ending to their careers that would be, and I think that wouldn't taint their legacy. That would just make it stronger and really send out a good message and a good example to young players and just football fans across the planet. I think it would be amazing. Amazing. I would absolutely love to see that. However, I want him in the Prem, man. I want to see him end his days in the Prem, or at least end his main prime days in the Prem and then go to like Argentina, back to Spain, something like that. So yeah, Messi is linked with those clubs. He's also linked with Inter, but he won't go there. So yeah, it's a difficult one because I reckon Messi will stay. I reckon even though there's main reports that he's handed in a request to move, I think he's going to stay. I really do, and I think Bartomeu, again, I'm not sure how to say it, will resign from the Barcelona job. Regardless, let's move on to my next topic. Ben Chilwell completed his move to Chelsea a couple of days ago now. £52 million, I think it was, which is almost 95 Australian dollars, 95 million Australian dollars. $95 would be as cheap as chips, eh? But Chilwell, the ex-Leicester left back, somehow not selected for the England upcoming games, which is absolutely baffling. Absolutely baffling. How are you choosing Tyrone Mings as your first choice left back over Ben Chilwell? Insanity, man. That is insanity. Ben Chilwell, however, in my opinion, is England's best left back. I think he's definitely one of the best young left backs on the planet, and there are quite a couple of good ones. So it's really good to see this because I think Chilwell will get a lot of first team football for Chelsea. I think he'll suit their system well. I thought he'd go to City when he started emerging as like this player that could do it going forward, do it going back. As you guys may know, I absolutely love Ben Chilwell in career mode and on FIFA in general. So yeah, we'll see what happens with this. I think he'll succeed with Chelsea. I really do. But it's just a quick mention on Chelsea, man. I don't think they'll challenge for the title next year. I still think that Frank Lampard needs more time in the job to just adjust to managerial roles, especially one like Chelsea in general. I think that Chelsea will probably make top 4, but that might be a little challenging for them even though they've signed the likes of Timo Werner, they've still got Kante, they've signed Ziyech, they're on the brink of signing Havertz, they've signed Chilwell, they've signed all these amazing players. Malang Sarr is heavily linked, Thiago Silva is heavily linked, I can't speak, it's insane, it's insane. So fair play Chelsea, they've done absolutely fantastically, and I think they are going to keep progressing with all these brilliant young signings. So yeah, Chilwell has completed his move to Chelsea. Well done to him. Let's move on to Ainsley Maitland-Niles, the Arsenal, well, what do we say? Left wing back, right back, centre mid, centre attacking mid, right mid, left mid, centre forward. He can play pretty much anywhere except goalkeeper. Like he has done it all. He has played so many positions for Arsenal, and okay, get this. Doherty, right, is looking like he's on his way to Tottenham. Matt Doherty, the Wolves left back. And Wolves are willing to pay $20 million for Maitland-Niles. Maitland-Niles reportedly wants to leave Arsenal. Now, while this is all well and good, he reportedly wants to leave because he doesn't want to play right back / right wing back. And he'd rather play on the wing or maybe down the middle. However, if Wolves are going to be selling Doherty and they're bringing in Maitland-Niles, doesn't that indicate that they're going to be playing him at right back or right wing back? This just doesn't make any sense to me. And I've heard Arsenal fans say that 20 mil isn't fair for Maitland-Niles. You've got Maitland-Niles, you've got Aaron Ramsdale. Now, don't get me wrong, Maitland-Niles has been quality for Arsenal most of the time. He's not that consistent. However, I'd say Ramsdale, after the season he had, if he's going for under 20 mil, how are you expecting to get at least 30 for Maitland-Niles? That's ridiculous, Arsenal fans. I'm sorry, but Maitland-Niles is not even close to that valuation. 20 mil is pretty bang on, particularly in this market. You know, if it was like bumped up by a bit, I wouldn't be too surprised. If it was anything over, like, you know, 15, 16 million pounds, I think that's completely fair for Maitland-Niles. I think Wolves are going to get themselves a good deal. He's looking likely to join. It's not going to be a loan. It's going to be permanent. And I think Maitland-Niles is going to be a Wolves player in the coming weeks. But how weird is that? He wants to leave a certain club. His boyhood club. He's been there since he was 5. He wants to leave because of a certain position he's playing, just to go play that same position for another team in the Prem who are on par with Arsenal. You know, they finished above Arsenal last season. So, you know, that just doesn't make much sense to me. But speaking of Arsenal, the Gabriel deal, as it usually does, as transfers in general usually do with Arsenal, is taking forever to be announced. But he has signed the contract reportedly. He's, you know, all the deals have been agreed. He did his medical a few days ago. He will be an Arsenal player. He already is, I think. And he didn't obviously feature against Shakhtar because why would you feature like before being announced as a certain player for a certain team? That just wouldn't make any sense. But yeah, he will be an Arsenal player. Him and Saliba are going to be a great partnership, I think. Holding and Chambers are both linked with a move away, as I mentioned in my last transfer special episode. So I don't know what the dealio is with that one, but you know what? I think Gabriel could do really, really well for Arsenal. I just want him to stay fit, because Arsenal have had that problem with all their players really in recent years, just constantly getting injured and ruining their careers. But Gabriel looks like a really good player, so I'd love to see him succeed in the Prem. And as I said, it's looking like it's going to be a done deal. It's only a matter of time now, surely. Got a couple more for you. Moussa Dembele is looking like he could be on his way to PSG. I technically am sitting in the middle with this. You know, the former Fulham man, and I think he played for Celtic at one point as well. He has done so well with Lyon. He scored 2 against Manchester City. We all know that in the Champions League quarterfinals in the 2019-2020 campaign, and knocked them out subsequently in a 3-1 win. Moussa Dembele is a quality striker, one of the top scorers in Ligue 1 after Lyon didn't even make top 5. Unbelievable season from him. He's had a good few seasons for Lyon. I remember, you guys remember when I used him in my Lyon career mode earlier in FIFA 20? He was a beast, an absolute beast. He is incredible, and PSG are looking likely that they'll keep hold of Mbappe at this rate, but they could have another quality striker on their hands. And I don't know what's happening with Icardi. There's not many rumours coming out. At the moment, he's an Inter Milan player, but how is he going to get in ahead of Lukaku and Martinez? And yeah, I think it's a bit of a tough situation to be in, especially for Moussa Dembele, and I think that there's really not much chance that he will go to PSG. However, it seems like a pretty strong rumour, so we'll see. And the final rumour for this episode, I don't think there's been any confirmed deals. Well, Rodrigo went to Leeds. I should probably mention that real quick. Rodrigo went to Leeds. He hasn't been too good recently for Valencia. £30 million is a pretty expensive buy, but you know what? Leeds want a goal scorer. They're not getting Augustine back or anything like that, so it's definitely a fair shout bringing a really decent striker in. I know Rodrigo's really good, but I just hope they play him completely differently to how they play Bamford. Bamford is a finisher, Rodrigo is a technical specialist who can finish quite well, I'd say. But yeah, I've touched up on that enough, I would say. And I'm going to move into really the final little rumour for this episode. Bentaleb is heavily linked with a permanent move to Newcastle United. Now, he could go for a minimum of £4 million, and if they don't activate that, then they will have to pay up to $9 million. I mean, why not take it? Bentaleb, since he left Spurs, hasn't really looked that good. He didn't look like the young player that everyone tipped him to be, you know, with that sort of potential. And he's sort of coming up to his prime now, and he's just not done as well as people thought he'd do. He was alright on loan for Newcastle at the end of last season, but ultimately nothing special. I'd like to see him back in the Prem. I think he's a decent player nonetheless. And you know, for under 10 million guaranteed, you got to do it, Newcastle. You surely got to do it. Besides all that, thank you very much for watching this, guys. It's been a really nice video. I've loved recording these. Let me know if you want me to continue doing these. I'll let you know with updates and all that sort of stuff on new players coming into new clubs and all that sort of stuff. There's the Sydney FC versus Melbourne City Grand Final on this afternoon, so be sure to check that out. Regardless, thank you guys very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It would massively help me out, and I will see you all in the next video.